Hello and happy Friday. Today I thought I would take you through a brief journey about botulinum toxin because I think its origin and where we're going with it is so very interesting. A lot of the early discovery and recognition was even, in fact, from here at the University of Wisconsin, where they were doing things in the food service industry looking into the origin of botulism. And what they found was that there is a bacterium called Clostridium botulinum that actually generates a toxin that then causes muscle flaccidity and therefore this disease called botulism. So from that kind of medical discovery, it started getting more and more applications, and some of the very first ones in the medical world were now in the ophthalmology world, where patients who had blepharospasm, which is that involuntary twitching of the eye, or even some of the people with dysconjugate gaze, you could do some very precise use of those toxins to be able to correct that with a great deal of efficacy and ease. And from there, it just took off. That was back in the early 70s. By the 80s, even 90s, obviously we get more and more applications, and including what we've seen for our, kind of the most popular area, which is the injection itself in the frontalis and the glabellar area itself for the 11s here. That was kind of one of the very first medical indications that got FDA clearance. And it was really because some pioneers, including Dr. Alan Scott and two of the Carruthers, a husband and wife team up in Canada, one's an ophthalmologist, one's a dermatologist. We really have them to thank for really the entire aesthetic use of these products, because what they were doing, they were actually applying that toxin to patients in the eye region, the skin of the eye, for some of these things like blepharospasm, and yet those patients started to respond that they really liked the appearance of it. And so because of it, they started to apply it to some other areas more for the appearance and a little bit less about the functional side. So that's worth another quick mention, because the industry itself is separated also in somewhat of that same fashion. There's a functional side, so-called medical side, where anybody who has a medical condition, often kind of from overactivity of a muscle, those can be treated with one of the botulinum toxins. So people who have TMJ problems, people who have sternocleidomastoid problems, or it's essentially a muscle kind of torticollis and things of that nature, migraines, people who have hyperactive esophageal areas where they have dysmotility issues, people who have urinary retention issues, all kinds of different medical aspects for that. That falls into the medical side of it. And then those, when we use it for the kind of appearance side, that is now the cosmetic side. And even people like Allergan, who make the product Botox, have a separate division for Botox Medical and Botox Cosmetic. Well, why again is it so popular? Well, first of all, because it just plain simply works. It's very effective, it's very precise. Number two is it's simple, it's affordable, there's almost no downtime, and it really works for an appropriate amount of time, which speaks to what's kind of so exciting about its future. Some of the newer toxins that they're now investigating, and kind of what is the future of these toxins, one is to find something that's a little quicker acting. It might be having a quicker onset, so somebody who didn't get their injection in time, they can get something. And right now we usually expect it to work in 3+ days, but it may be maybe in a day or so, or even less. Option two is that we get one that works a little bit longer, because obviously the norm right now is probably a 3, 4, maybe 5 month kind of application where you get that kind of effect, and then you actually have to get re-injected. But it'd be great to get these for, let's say, 12 months. And then the third one is, of course, something that's even shorter. There are some patients who just want proof of concept. They want to know that these products work, and therefore they might only want it to work for maybe a month. And so that is also one of the newer toxins that's coming out. So anyway, the future of it is bright. It's not going anywhere. It's gaining in popularity year over year, despite the fact that we've had millions and millions of people. And in fact, every year over 3 or I think 4 million people are doing the Botox injection of some form, or a botulinum toxin injection. We've got lots of companies in the industry, which gives us more and more issue with options and different kind of characteristics of the filler. So for all of you who are kind of interested in it, it's a beautiful product. It's great. It's safe. It's truly one of the most studied medications that's in the market at all, ever. And I mean any medical market. So again, it's got a fabulous track record. So again, if you like Botox, I'll tell you why. I think it's great.